All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for being here this morning. It is Friday. Favorite day of the week for most people. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. We've got Albert from Seattle. Rohan Johnson from the ATL. Good morning, everybody. Court. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube channel. Cynthia from Phoenix, Arizona. Cleve Stewart from New York. Court from Florida. Good morning, Linda Reuter from Graham, Seattle. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? What vehicle of choice is going to get you there? Take action, stay focused, do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. Good morning, Jacqueline and Karen. So let's get started this morning with a couple of articles. I did not do a crypto talk yesterday. Wait. No, I didn't. That's right. I had a lot of appointments yesterday morning. So let's, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at CoinMarketCap to see what has happened since 48 hours since I did the last crypto talk. What's the market? And the market looks to be exactly where it was before. 143.5 billion. That's actually up maybe a couple of hundred million since last time I talked. Bitcoin is 50.3% dominance. $4,095 a coin. That's pretty good. Pretty good. You've got Ethereum up 0.5%, $141 a coin. The rest, though, however, in the top 10 seem to be in the red, but it's minimal. Flatline. Cardano's up 6%, so that Cardano's having a big jump. Best performers of the last 24 hours, Basic Attention, Maximum Coin, Tezos, Qcoin shares. The top coin, 10 coins, is really Cardano that's having a good run. Worst performers, Decentraland, Wiki Chain, Augur, Maker, Verge, Pivex, Cash. Electroneum's down 3%. Electroneum's just can't seem to break past that penny. Let's see if that happens this year. All right, let's look at some news. First up, Quadriga. We've been following Quadriga. Now we're going to hear from the lawyer. Quadriga CX lawyer exposes Bitcoin exchange's descent into lawlessness. Let me paste this. Good morning, Tony, Bethany Gibbs, Omar Jarrett. Quadriga had a long and successful run as Canada's top Bitcoin exchange. Former counsel to the exchange, Christine Duhaide, says in a blog post at CoinDesk that the company was among the only exchanges to publicly publish audits or obtain cold storage insurance. Both choices were laudable and rare among exchanges in 2015. When she was fired after 6 months of providing advice on regulatory issues, she says CEO Gerald Cotton wanted to move away from being a publicly listed company and shook out all the law and order types. See, this is what I just don't get. In my experience over the past 10 years, when you start to, if you start off as a regular sales rep or distributor, and the more well you do, the more success you have, and you move to the top, you start interacting with corporate directly. You start interacting with the ownership, the people that have the say-so, the powers that be. You start to see behind the curtain of what's going on behind the scenes and not just the hype that's being put out to the field. And what I have learned in my personal experience, and this may not be true for everybody else, but what I've learned is that most times companies fail not because they didn't have a great idea, not because they didn't have a good product, not because they didn't have good field leadership. They failed because of greed, mismanagement, or just plain don't know what the heck they're doing. Time and time again, it is the owners who screw up their own deal. It's one thing I like about hackers and stuff. Like, you're so good at what you do. If you just do things the right way, you will be okay. If you look at Quadriga, they were the top exchange in Canada. They had all legal representation in place, which set them apart from everybody else. Millions of dollars coming through. And what does the owner do? It's not good enough. He just can't sit back and accept the success he's got and grow from that. No. Oh, I'm going to fire the legal counsel that got us to this point, and I want to move away from being, publicly doing any public listing and audits and stuff. What? Why? Again, ownership and leadership in the company screwed it up. Let me continue. He wanted to shake out all the law and order types She says the company is composed of 4 companies in total, and therefore 4 sets of shareholders have a stake in the assets of Quadriga. Before her firm's hiring by Quadriga, the company believed it had been inadvertently involved in a pump and dump scheme. It is my belief that the whole Quadriga team came to believe that the company may have unwittingly became involved in a Vancouver pump and dump scheme. Whether it had been drawn into a pump and dump is not for me to say, because it was before my time, but I can say that Quadriga was run by tech geeks who were competitive, ambitious, and smart, but who were unfamiliar with the capital markets ecosystem in Vancouver. Quadriga subsequently bought its way out of many shareholder agreements. At the same time, at least some shareholders never received $1. There were few shareholders left by the time we exited in early 2016, and the shareholder lists publicly available do not appear to be up to date. 3 shareholders have recently told me that they have never received notice of any annual general meeting and didn't receive so much as $1 dividend from Quadriga in 3 years, despite how profitable it appears to have been. So this is no shock. The lawyer exits in 2016, and it didn't take that long for the whole thing to collapse. Any surprise on that? From that moment onwards, the company, to take the company completely private, Cotton eliminated everyone related to compliance or regulatory oversight. Major red flag right there. Major red flag. From that moment, in his way, Duhane says the company moved from being as regulated as possible to lawlessness in the regulatory sense. Why would he do that? You already have millions coming in, and it's only going to get better. Why would you do the opposite? Like I said, it blows my mind. I can company after company after company that I've been involved with. You guys, man, I know you know the story of how me and Troy Dooley came to know each other, because I was terminated from a company back in 2010, 11. I was considered one of the young, successful network marketers at that time. I was barely at, 30, 31 years old. Got to the top of the company, started working with the owner, Hal Wynn. Found out behind the scenes, what's going on. And I saw, if you do things the right way, we can become so much bigger. He didn't want to do things the right way and was content with doing things illegally the way he was doing it, because he was making a few millions. I'm like, just do it the right way. No. So I knew I couldn't stay in that environment. And he terminated me and stole 2 months worth of commissions. Other companies, same thing. One company, we grew 500% in 90 days. Was one of the fastest growing companies in the United States in its field. No, not just in network marketing companies, period. It was number 2. They went from doing like 40,000 to 100,000 a month to millions. Owner got greedy, screwed the whole thing up, ran the company into the ground. Unfreaking believable. Anyways, I get sidetracked. So he basically took it to lawlessness. From that moment onwards, Mr. Cotton solely took over Quadriga and operated the exchange as if it had no investors, no shareholders, no regulatory agencies, and no law that applied to it. No corporate law, no securities law, no anti-money laundering law, and no contract law. I don't know why Mr. Cotton decided to eschew regulatory law, but I never spoke with him after that day. He wanted all the money for himself. As CCN has previously reported, Cotton himself controlled the majority of the exchange's crypto wallets. It was that fatal flaw in the second model that enabled an alleged massive loss of funds after his death in December 2018. Over 250 million Canadian dollars in outstanding claims by over 110,000 people exit against Quadriga and its former lawyers wonders why certain legal actions have yet to be taken to ensure that whatever funds left are protected. She writes, I don't know if there is 137 million parked in a few wallets. I don't know why the Bitcoin addresses that were supposed to be holding 92.3 million turned up empty. I don't know why the wallet address holding 44.7 million of other cryptos can't be disclosed. I don't know why no law firm has applied for a Mareva injunction to preserve assets. I don't know why the litigation in Nova Scotia, when British Columbia courts have jurisdiction and the witnesses and evidence are in British Columbia. Here's what I don't understand. What goes through an individual, and maybe I'm just not that type person that scams people. I don't know if it's because of the way I was raised, knowing right from wrong, treat others with respect, follow the law. Maybe it's my upbringing, but I just can't see willingly scamming and stealing from 110,000 people. It's their money. What type of individual? Duhaime says she was reluctant to author a blog post on the subject of Quadriga, but hopes doing so will raise awareness around the need for better exchange regulation. She did it because customer assets held by exchanges must be subject to greater regulation and oversight, and unless we improve the accuracy of the available information. I dealt with one guy, CEO of a company. Great idea, great concept, great field leadership. Everything would work. You know what this guy did? Defrauded shareholders, stole millions from one of the largest churches in South Africa, and ran off from Canada and hid off in Australia. Thousands upon thousands of people affected. Well, I don't get it. The final resolution of Quadriga may take years to settle out. Thus far, it seems to be a more curious version of Mt. Gox, with greater intrigue surrounding the founder and his death. Following the news of his death and the lack of access to funds, some people believe the founder faked his death. Moreover, it has come to light that Gerald Cotton used his personal wealth to keep the exchange afloat and make customers whole while exchange was fighting with a large Canadian bank over its account. The story of Quadriga and other centralized exchanges that have suddenly been unable to service withdrawals should not be taken lightly. It illustrates the need for decentralized exchanges, or at the very least, solutions like Arwen, which enables clients and exchanges to split custody of funds while trading and ultimately prevents bad actors from stealing funds. But what happens if the bad actor is the freaking owner of the company themselves? If I were to see Quadriga in 2015 and 16, I would like they did everything right. They had all the compliance in place. Was it disclosed that he fired everybody? Was that ever disclosed publicly? That would be my question. Did a letter go out to everybody on the exchange that says we are no longer represented by so-and-so? See, I know who represents KGX. I know we have Thompson and Burton LLC, Kevin Thompson. I know we have a compliance attorney and her staff for SEC and FTC compliance. I know we have Troy Dooley on the staff as a consultant to make sure we're doing everything right. And they remind me, I can't say nothing without their approval. For example, I'm doing a special Facebook Live this afternoon, and I had to have approval to be able to do and say what I'm about to say today. They don't just let us run wild and do whatever we want, because it affects everybody. Anyways, I'm still going to be following that closely. Let's look at this here. This is 2 days old. I didn't have a chance to get to this one a couple of days ago. New Bitcoin Pross model predicts BTC at $55,000 plus Ripple and XRP, Ethereum, Tron, Stellar, EOS, and Cardano. Those are coins I would suggest you have. So, oh, this is not going to be able to take this link. Why? The link is too big? Yeah, the link is too big. So I can't post this link. It's off by 2 characters. So you can get it on the dailyhodl.com. From a new Bitcoin price prediction model to a big tease from EOS co-founder Dan Larimer, here's a look at some of the stories breaking in the crypto world. Bitcoin, a crypto analyst known in the industry as Plan B, has released a new prediction model that indicates Bitcoin will hit $55,000 in 2020 or 2021. 55,000. The model analyzes the potential impact of Bitcoin's coming halving, which will cut the block reward given to miners in half and further slow the production of Bitcoin's finite supply, which is capped at 21 million BTC. Halvings have historically had a positive impact on the price of Bitcoin. And according to Plan B, the increased scarcity will once again drive value. Plan B compares the stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin and precious metals to predict where the price of BTC is heading. Stock is the size of the existing stockpiles or reserves, while flow is a yearly production. According to the analysis, the coming halving, which is set to happen in May of 2020. All right, you guys have given, that is a clear date. I'm going to go by, because I said got about a year. That is my go-to date, where we only have this window of opportunity between now and May 1st. That's 13 months when the next halving takes place. Will likely place Bitcoin stock-to-flow valuation close to gold. Next halving is May 2020. Current SF of 25 will, oh, wow, something else just hit me. It's part of the announcement I'm going to be making later. Oh, wow, now I understand what Mike's talking about. Next halving is May 2020. Current SF of 25 will double to 50. Very close to gold. SF is 62. The predicted market value for Bitcoin after May 2020 halving is 1 trillion. Okay, you guys understand this? Let me show you what I mean. The entire crypto market cap is 143 billion, with Bitcoin having 50% of that. So, just to show you, and so you know where I get all this info from is from CoinMarketCap. So Bitcoin's market cap is at 72 billion right now. What this is saying is that after the halving takes place, this number here is not going to be 72 billion, but 1 trillion. And if that's what Bitcoin is, and if Bitcoin still remains 50% dominant, that means the entire crypto market cap will be at least 2 trillion. So May halving is 1 trillion, which translates in a Bitcoin price of $55,000. That is quite spectacular. Now, we know this happened before. Not that high, but there's what I want to show you. This is where education is so key, guys, because you're able to, what's the word? Project. I don't want to use the word predict. I want to use project. Why? Okay. You know your history in Bitcoin. When Bitcoin got to almost $20,000 a coin, Bitcoin's market cap, look at that, $18,000 18,000 because it's, and what's that? December 17th, Bitcoin here, because different markets in the world had it at different prices. That's why arbitrage is so important. Market cap was at $313 billion, and Bitcoin price was at $18,000 a coin. Okay, you guys see that? So if Bitcoin market goes to 1 trillion, that puts the Bitcoin price at 55,000 per coin. So we've seen it happen before. So May is that hard line date where it will never be as low as you see it is right now, ever again. Let's go back. So it says, which translates 55 billion, that is quite spectacular. I guess time will tell, and we will probably know 1 or 2 years after the halving in 2020 or 2021. A great out-of-sample test of this hypothesis and model. People ask me where all the money needed for $1 trillion in Bitcoin market value will come from. My answer, silver, gold, countries with negative interest rate, Europe, Japan, US soon, countries with predatory governments, Venezuela, China, Iran, Turkey, billionaires and millionaires hedging against quantitative easing, and institutional investors discovering the best performing asset of the last 10 years. About Ripple and Ripple and XRP. Spanish banking giant Santander says its Ripple-powered OnePay FX remittance app, which launched early last year, has seen a 230% growth in monthly volumes from May to December of 2018. The app lets people send euros to any Eurozone country or dollars to the US. Meanwhile, the Singapore-based crypto exchange BitTrue just added 3 new XRP-based pairs and now has a total of 34 coins paired with the digital asset. Ethereum. The anticipated Ethereum-based trading card game Gods Unchained is now in its early access beta. The game is from Fuel Bros and is backed by Nirvana Capital and Continue Capital, along with participation from Sora Ventures and Coinbase. YouTube's Crypto Stash just posted a look at the early access beta of the decentralized competitive card game, which allows players to choose from 6 different gods, each with their own set of cards. And what is this, like some nerd form of crypto Dungeons and Dragons? Gods Unchained card game? I don't know. Huh. I guess. Well, I guess it's going to be huge. I have to ask my son about it. EOS co-founder Dan Larimer has posted a cryptic tease about an upcoming announcement. On the EOS Telegram group, Larimer said it will be the biggest news since the reveal of EOS itself. Really? That might be some coins you want to get into. Stellar. Coinbase Earn, a platform that lets users earn cryptocurrency while learning about how it works, is partnering with the Stellar Foundation to hand out 1 billion Stellar. The crypto exchange says 100% of the funds will go directly to Coinbase users to teach them how to use the Stellar protocol. That's interesting. Tron is launching an educational program of its own, holding a series of events focused on the basics of blockchain. When people first hear the word blockchain, some may feel intimidated by this buzzword, or some may have never heard of it at all. It was this exact reason that led the Tron marketing team to implement the educational event series. Tron aims to act as an educational leader in the blockchain space by sharing our knowledge of blockchain and cryptocurrency to the community through a plethora of channels, social media, events, conferences, and more. Cardano. The latest episode of the Cardano Effect is out. This edition features Charles Hoskinson and his colleagues working on the smart contract platform. It covers Cardano's efforts in Africa, potential white label solutions for supply chain management, and enterprise solutions for adoption. So these are coins you're hearing about that is going to have some boost in their price. Cardano, Tron, Stellar, EOS, Ethereum, Ripple, and Bitcoin. Remember I said last year, Cardano and Stellar were my top 2 picks. All right, last one up, TechCrunch. TechCrunch founder, I've never been more bullish on Bitcoin. What does he know? On Thursday, Michael Arrington, the founder of TechCrunch and Arrington XRP Capital, has said that he has never been more bullish on crypto. The statement of Arrington comes after major investment firms in the crypto market and the likes of Pantera Capital and Arrington XRP Capital secured rounds exceeding $100 million to invest in emerging companies in the crypto industry. Why bullish on crypto when Bitcoin price is stagnant? Despite the strong performance of alternative cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin price has been unable to break out of the $4,000 region since December, briefly reaching $4,200 in some markets. The extended period of stability demonstrated by Bitcoin has worried technical analysts throughout March, considering that the Bitcoin price experienced a 50% plunge in price in November 2018, when it showed minimal price movement for a span of about 3 months. I kind of agree with this. Once price breaks 4,200, it could move fast. Matter of watching levels just like 3,700 yesterday. The key for the short-term prosperity of the crypto market is for BTC to break out of the major resistance levels with strength. I don't know. I still think that just like what happened in November, it was hovering at that $6,000 mark for like a couple months. And then months before that, it was at the $9,000 mark hovering. I think it's going to hover around this $4,000 mark, then drop all the way down to $3,000 and a little bit below, and then come back up. I may be wrong. It's not going to bother me either way because it's inconsequential. Like someone asked me, Brandon, should I wait until the market drops below 3,000 to start getting back into Bitcoin? No, I start getting it now. Well, wouldn't I save more money if I wait? Yeah, but it's not you. When Bitcoin goes to 20, 30, 40,000, it's not that much different if you got in at 3,000 or you got in at 4,000. All right. Don't try to play that game. I just believe it's still going to go down again. I mean, I could be wrong. It says, however, Bitcoin has struggled to test any key resistance levels above the $4,000 level. While the analysis of technical indicators of Bitcoin and the short-term projection of the dominant cryptocurrency vary, activities and developments in the crypto industry have shown that the interest in the asset class still remains relatively high following a 15-month bear market. Perhaps most importantly, in recent months, the crypto industry has seen major startups and leading companies mature amidst one of the worst corrections in the history of the cryptocurrency market. While developer activity has noticeably declined due to an overall drop in the inflow of capital into the cryptocurrency industry from retail investors, quality projects and companies have continued to demonstrate signs of growth and expansion. Developer activity and capital in the market may have dropped, but they have been allocated to projects and companies that build, execute, and grow, which ultimately may benefit the cryptocurrency industry in the long run. That's true. The valuation of the crypto market has dropped by nearly 82% from $813 billion since January, and it's provided investors with viable opportunities to enter the market with reasonable valuations of projects. Investors, especially retail investors that were affected by the market crash in January 2018. It could take a long period of time to recover, but investors who felt they have missed out the last bull market may feel compelled to enter while the valuation of cryptocurrency market is at its lowest point in recent years. In many years, including valuation, developer activity, growth, and adoption, the crypto market has shown significant potential in a dark period wherein startups are struggling to maintain new capital to survive, which can be considered as a positive indicator of long-term growth. Fundamentals are important too. On Wednesday, Nicholas Carey, the co-founder of Blockchain, the most widely utilized cryptocurrency wallet in the global market, said that the number of transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain achieved a 12-month high. The hash rate of the Bitcoin network has also increased steadily in the past 12 months, despite the abrupt dip in hash rate in late 2018 as a result of the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV hash power war. The prices of cryptocurrencies do not accurately depict the level of development and activity that is seen in the crypto market. And for that reason, industry executives have expressed confidence in that the market has established its bottom and could be on its way up. Interesting. I agree with most of what's said. But the clock is ticking, ladies and gentlemen. We have until May of next year before things will never be the way it was before. Stack up as many coins as you possibly can. I'm going all out. I'm literally stepping out of my comfort zone, doing everything I possibly can. That's just me personally. I can't tell you what to do. Anyways, this afternoon or evening, depending on where you are, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on my Facebook channel, I will be doing a special Facebook Live, giving an update, a peek into what is going on with KGX, what's about to happen right now, and some other key information. I've been quiet and off camera for the most part for the last couple of months. But I've gotten the go-ahead, I've gotten the okay, that I can start to run my mouth. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So be prepared for that. And I'm not going to keep long. I know with March Madness, I want to see the Duke game tonight, 6:30 my time. So we will be short. I'll keep it short. I'll try not to go off on a tangent. I have a whole lot to say, but I'll keep it short because I also don't want to spoil too much for the main announcement from the company, which might be next week. Major announcement from the company. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. Again, for those of you that's looking for more funding to fund your projects, shoot me a message. I'll show you how to get. I'm excited. I am finally. I've been putting something off that I needed to get fixed anyway for the longest. My own credit, so that I can get more funds, so that I can invest more into the crypto space. You know, you got to go step by step by step. Also, I will give you a hint here. You want to get your money ready. You got to get your money ready for what we're about to do. You know, I've learned another lesson in the crypto space. Unless you're willing to do what I did, not many people's going to be able to flip $30 into six figures like I did. However, anybody, if you've got, probably the low end is $10,000. The sweet spot's probably about $20,000. But to really make a dent, especially since we only have a year left, you need about $10,000 to play with. $10,000 that you don't need to use to pay your bills or anything like that. $10,000 that you can use to work for you. You need about 10 grand. It doesn't mean if you don't have 10 grand, you're left out. Well, we can show you how to earn that. That's what KGX is all about. Anyways, have a great afternoon. I'll see you all later. God bless. Bye-bye.